Hey guys, we're back again, about ready to go into the fourth movie, Rambo. Just Rambo. Boy, did that make it confusing, right?
Yeah, that's what you'd expect the first movie to be called.
Except it was called, remember, it went First Blood, then Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and then Rambo 3.
And then Rambo. It's like,
And then Rambo Last Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this one's going to be more energetic. It's Sylvester Stallone himself returning to the character and writing and directing it this time. So hopefully. It is also to be very gory, so...
Oh boy.
Brace yourself. And if this movie keeps us energetic, we might then rewatch the fifth one again and then do a retrospective. If it puts us to sleep like the last one did, probably not.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on the other side. Hey guys, we just got seeing Rambo, and good lord, not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 indeed.
Possibly better than the first. Possibly.
Possibly indeed.
Or at least it's equal in its own way, because this is a John that you ignore. If you ignore the third movie, you accept the second one only because it gets you from the States to Nam. This felt like the more logical follow-up to John.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The only thing that made the third one good was, again, it emphasized him and Tatum. You know what I mean? But here, this felt like it took all of his baggage, all of the weight of everything, his self-hatred and everything, and bring it to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say something? I'm not going to keep yapping.
And it's definitely something that brought things down to earth by making the actual bad guys in this movie people that are in fact bad guys and monsters in the real world by immediately setting things up with an IRL like news feed. Really.
Exactly. And then the politics in here, it's more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's both subtle and hits you over with a hammer in different ways. But the main question is, it's less right versus left or whatever. It's more pure pacifism versus pragmatism. Mm-hmm. Is that the right way of putting it, you think?
Yeah. Or it's just like naive idealism versus a more cynical pragmatism.
Exactly. Especially when, because you have these missionaries coming in, and they're already like, we're going to help these people in this town in a place that's being made very clear is very war-torn. But again, you're like, okay, they're gullible. But then they eventually do convince John to go on a boat. But John is just like, no. Mm-hmm. And even the lady, they can talk to him 3 times to convince him to go. Mm-hmm. Then they eventually go, he takes them there. They get hijacked by these pirates. And then he kills them. And the leader of the missionary is like, no. It's like, you are an idiot. I'm sorry, you were thinking that too, weren't you? Like, the guy was an idiot.
And unfortunately, there are real life stories like that.
It's like, I'll get to more in a little bit. But then they make their way there, and wouldn't you know it, the town they're in gets wiped out, and all of them are abducted. And by the end, I'll just say by the end of the movie, the girl and the leader, which are their fiancés, are the only 2 left of their group. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is dead, either shot or fed to the pigs. Yeah. Then John meets up with these mercenaries who I like the mercenaries.
They were definitely really well developed characters.
Even though I only really memorably remember 2 of them. The asshole and schoolboy. Mm-hmm. The asshole though, he felt like John at his worst. If John had no heart to him. Mm-hmm. And now that throughout all this, until the very end, you never hear the name Rambo. Mm-hmm. It's either John or Boatman. But again, throughout all of this movie just kept clicking around at the proper pace, and I really, really liked it.
Yeah, and it probably got the deepest, investigation of John as a character, especially with everything he's been through, and the other bits of the cast serve to really sort of highlight that, sort of exploring different aspects of his character.
Exactly. And they also make this very clear. Violence is necessary if you're being treated with violence first. Because the main message is this, and I kind of agree with it. If someone's coming after you with a knife, you're not going to open your hands and going kumbaya, like, hey, tell me your sorrows, you're going to get gutted. Mm-hmm. And now, of course, violence, the violence you throw back depends. Like, you could do like a counter takedown or something. I don't think anyone will fault you for that one, but that is something, the type of thing you have to throw. And the more vicious the violence, you have to throw just as equal back. Would you agree with that? At least that's what the movie showed. Right?
It's just like, you can't treat it with kid gloves.
Yeah. But yeah, overall though, this movie was just great. And in the end, John finally goes home and he's going to see his dad. This just brought everything. It also had the most satisfying climax, and the violence. Good God, the gore!
At the same time, though, it felt more real. It didn't feel like over the top. It just felt like this is what an IRL war zone is like.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna rewatch the 5th movie one more time to bring things full circle and come with you on a retrospective. But this equal to the 1st. And yeah, we need to rewatch this 5th one so we can finally get proper context, and then we'll be back afterwards. We'll see you guys in there.